Hello, and today's learning target is I can rewrite equations between all forms. So today we are going to go back and forth between different forms such as slope-intercept form, standard form, and point-slope form. So let's remind ourselves of what each form is. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Standard form, not from, is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are all numbers, and a must be positive, and there cannot be fractions or decimals within standard form. Point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1, where y1 and x1, they are part of the ordered pair. That's a point that's on the line of this point slope form equation, and m represents the slope. Let's take a look here at the first example. So we are given the example 5x minus 6y equals 36 in standard form. Now we are only going to change that into slope-intercept form, not point-slope form, so we can put an x through that box. And that's because point-slope form, we need to be able to have a point that's on that line, and in order to do that, we would need to graph that, and we're not going to worry about that right now. So we're going to put an x through that box, and let's rewrite this equation from standard form into slope-intercept form. So I am going to rewrite that equation right here and then show my work in order to get to slope-intercept form. So again, I want to isolate y and get that by itself, so I'm going to subtract the 5x. And again, I want to solve for y because that's the form, right? Y equals mx plus b. And so what I get is negative 6y equals negative 5x plus 36. And then I'll go ahead and divide everything by a negative 6. And I get y equals, these cancel out, right? Y equals negative 5 divided by negative 6 is positive 5/6 x. And 36 divided by negative 6 is a negative 6. So again, every term gets divided by that negative 6. And then I get y equals 5/6 x minus 6. And I can have a fraction in slope-intercept form, so that's not a problem. And I've isolated y, so that would be done. That would be the slope-intercept form of 5x minus 6y equals 36, given in standard form. Okay, let's look at the next example. Now we are given an equation in point-slope form, and we have to rewrite into standard and slope-intercept form. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I am going to rewrite that equation over here into the slope-intercept box, and I'm going to solve for my slope-intercept form first. So I'm going to distribute that 2 and get y plus 7 equals 2x minus 2. And then I want to isolate y, so I'm going to subtract 7, and I get y equals 2x minus 9. And that would be the slope-intercept form of that equation. Now I'm going to use that, and I'm going to get that into standard form. So I'm going to rewrite that right in the standard form box, and I'm going to solve. So I'm going to subtract the 2x to the other side, and I get negative 2x plus y equals negative 9. And I can't have a negative first term. This negative 2 must be positive, so I'm going to multiply everything by a negative 1. So I get a positive 2x, I get a negative y, and then negative 9 times negative 1 is a positive 9. So that would be my standard form of this equation, right? And I have no fractions, no decimals, my first term's positive, so I've satisfied all the requirements for standard form. All right, and let's look at the last example here. Y equals 7x minus 10. Again, whenever we're given standard form or slope-intercept form, we will not go to point-slope form, and that's again because we would need to get a specific point on the line, which we would need to graph, and we're not going to graph today. So let's just change this equation to standard form. So I'll rewrite that over here. Y equals 7x minus 10. So I'm going to subtract the 7x and get negative 7x plus y equals negative 10. multiply everything by a -1 because I can't have a negative first term, and I get positive 7x minus y equals positive 10, right? I change all the signs of the terms in my equation to keep the entire equation even. So I end up getting 7x minus y equals 10. All right, and so we just rewrote a few equations and went back and forth between different forms. And this is what we will be working on for some more practice. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Bye-bye.